it's harder to do a big three because of the way the contract situation is, and also because of free agency, you might not be able to keep the guys even that you drafted. So those guys could split up. But I mean, all they have to do is be there for a couple years and win a couple championships back to back, and it's done. Like I don't understand what they are.
And
I think of the big.
Craig, sorry to interrupt you, but there was a time from 1969
Oh my God.
all the way up to 1986. You're asking for facts. I'm just telling you
69
what.
to 80s.
Yes, to 86. I'm just telling you there
No,
wasn't
that's
no back-to-back champion during that era,
okay.
those years. I'm on the NBA championship list website, so
Okay.
that's when it started.
I
I mean, that's
mean,
the only time in NBA that it was.
but
It was
also
1969.
that was before free agency or around. Yeah, I think that was before free agency or free
Yes,
agency
it
kind of just
was.
started around the 80s or whatever the case may be. But
Hmm.
so I don't think. I mean, it hasn't. So okay, yeah, so I'll change my statement. Thank you. I'll say that since the inception of free agency, I don't there hasn't been.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that. And since free agency is
Yeah.
still going on, and I know the free agency structure has changed and everything like that, super teams, all that, blah blah blah. I'm just going to say that I don't think this is a 10-year gap that's going to happen. I think the parity is there in the NBA now, or
Yeah.
at least it seems like it is. So
Yeah.
even though Boston's kind of been running the East for the most part, winning on the six conference finals
Yeah.
in the last 8 years, um, overall, I think there's more parity in the NBA than it has been in a little while, at least.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to be any more dominant, like big three teams at least winning. Um,
Yeah.
at least big three in the sense of being free agents. You might be able to draft your team and have a big three that way,
Yeah.
and ooh, okay. But then eventually, the contract situation is going to come up. But I think even then, you can still be able to win a championship in that time frame as your young stars grow together, or whatever the case may be. So I don't understand that one.
I mean, I get it. I Well, I'm sorry. He also said we're in year 6 of it, so I think he said it's gonna be 9 more
Yeah, it is.
years.
It is six.
Yeah, that's a long. 10 is a long time, but a lot of so that means one of these players of the generation you're saying is great. Now, before we go to talk about, um, we're gonna talk about the Thunder and Mav series. Let me ask you this: what star right now? Because it has to be a superstar to do it. What superstar do you see going back to back right now?
I mean, I would think it'd be Boston. I mean, with Tatum, I don't.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
it's because they pretty much own the East for the last eight
okay.
years for the most part. I mean, in terms of just getting to the conference finals, so if they can just get out of their own way, stop shooting all these extra threes, and
Man,
he's still relatively young. He's going to sign a big
he's
supermax contract.
26. She's
Be the
26.
number right. He's going to be the number or the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's got Brown still with him. He's got a really good defender in Holiday at the point.
And Porzingis. Did they
To get
sign
Porzingis
Porzingis
back,
too?
well, I said they get Porzingis back and he's healthy. I mean,
Yeah, I'm hearing him about game four. I'm hearing right now he'll be back game four in Indiana.
game four. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he's gonna be back game 4.
I think if they can win this year, I think there's a possibility that they can win again next year. I don't see why they wouldn't be the favorites going forward because I don't think they're going to make too many free agency moves and make too many
Yeah,
changes to this already good roster. So they already had the best record in the NBA.
yeah,
So I mean, there's no reason to. Every other team has to kind of play catch up and figure out what they need to do to make their rosters work. So um, I probably would say Boston at this point if they win this year.
I,
okay.
yeah, I never agree with that because I'm looking at the East. What teams?
None.
What
Well,
team could?
No,
I mean, what team right now could make a all season push? That would be a good enough push to
Philly,
Knicks. I think the Knicks
the
could.
Knicks.
I don't know about Philly.
If they get Paul George, I don't know. Well, they're
Well,
not. They're not going to. But yeah, if they get Paul George, they're gonna be a problem.
They
And
didn't get. They didn't get.
if the Knicks get somebody, I
no,
know they would get Like, you know who would fit perfect there, but he probably's never. They're not going to trade him. Kevin Durant would fit perfect in New York. He would.
I don't think so. I would not want Kevin
I
Durant.
don't-
He doesn't want to be a leader. He don't want to be a leader. He just want to play ball.
But
He'll fit right in.
I
He'll fit
think
right in.